curiosity, how many of you have some experience with divorce, whether you come from a divorced family, you're divorced yourself, you know somebody that's divorced, you have a friend or family member that's divorced, you have a coworker that's divorced? Pretty soon I should be seeing everybody's hand up. Really, divorce is a topic that touches all of our lives on some level. And even though while you may not be a divorced parent or a single parent, you may know other families that are struggling with this kind of change, even years down the road. And there's a big difference that you can make in a child's life in how you support families and how you engage with them. Maybe they're not hearing what they need to from mom and dad, but that doesn't mean they can't hear it from a volunteer. Or how you approach parents. You know, how inclusive is your school system? Is your organization of single parents and divorced parents? Both parents get information. Yes, there's a lot of different aspects. So just to move things along, let's talk about what the average American family looks like. Just out of curiosity, what do you think? Which of these best describes the average American family? Married couple with their own children. An unmarried single parent living with his or her own children. Two unmarried parents sharing parenting responsibilities between two separate households. Blended family with two married parents where at least one is remarried, raising a combination of biological and non-biological children.
I would say all.
You want to say all? Okay. Other ideas? D? Blended families? Any other guesses in the room? You hope it's A? Yeah, the truth is that there is no longer an average American family. Recent statistics reveal that no one single family dynamic merges as an average. That we have moved into a day and age where families are extremely diverse and configured in a lot of different ways. So how does that play out when we take a look at divorce? Yeah, how we parent has changed. How we support families also needs to change. Single parenting, divorced parenting, parenting when you're separated, presents more challenges, more stressors, different needs for support, different dynamics. Just a couple of quick facts. You'll also see these on, I believe, the last page of your handouts. There's just a couple of what does today's, modern family look like for kids. 1 in 2 kids live in a single parent family. 1 in 3 are born to unmarried parents. 1 in 4 lives with only one parent. That's a big change from where we were 50 years ago. For blended families, 1 in 3 kids will live in a step-parent home before they become 18 years old. 50% will have a step-parent and some parent in their life, and this is the one that blew me away. 95.5 million adults have a step relationship. That means either you're a step-parent, you're a step-child, you have step-siblings. That to me was just, wow. And it doesn't stop there. There's also something that's becoming quite predominant and growing, that's multi-generational families, where grandparents are raising grandkids. I was doing a radio show about a month ago, and I had a grandma call in, and she took custody of her 6 grandchildren and was raising them on her own. She wanted to know, how do I get some time for me? Tough question. Introduce your kids to Benadryl. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But, gosh, can you imagine? not just raising one set of kids, but now taking on a second set. So the dynamics are really changing. Just to keep this a little bit on the light side, I love this cartoon. It says, thanks to separations, divorces, and remarriage, I've got 20 grandparents. And this has to be my all-time favorite. Adult Children of Normal Parents Convention. But what does this really say about our ideas surrounding divorce, surrounding separation, surrounding single parenting, and what we consider to be normal? Even with all these statistics, all these numbers about how things are changing, what kind of images and ideas do we associate with divorce? Abnormal, sure. So let's just take a quick temperature in the room. When I say the word divorce, what just comes to mind?
Dysfunctional.
Dysfunctional. Failure.
Heartache. Heartache.
Heartache. Absolutely. Anger. Unforgiveness. Yeah.
How about abuse?
Abuse. Yeah. Infidelity. Whose fault was it? Why didn't it work? What's going to happen? Guilt. Loss. Think about how many of all of those words and images that we just tossed out even came close to being positive. Not a one. Not a one. And it's not, again, it's not that it is a positive experience. But you know, Clint Swindell once said that the longer I live, the more I realize that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% attitude. And this really holds true when we're talking about separation and divorce. What kind of attitudes are we associating with this big change, with this transition? And then how are we communicating that attitude to children? Because parents are the lens through which children will experience the way the family restructures. They're taking their cues from mom and dad. As a matter of fact, parents are one of the most influential factors in how children adjust following divorce, how mom and dad are adjusting. So what is it that children need from a family? When I was practicing my presentation, my daughter said love and candy. She's almost 14. She was also sitting in the back with some candy at the time, so, you know, I might have even been loving chocolate, I don't know. But what is it that kids need? They need a sense of belonging. They need their values and morals and principles. They get those from family, the way they view life. Love goes without saying, but also a sense of identity. Kids literally view themselves as half mom and half dad. Basic needs, well-being. Now, what happened to all those dynamics when parents part? But do they have to?
No, they don't have to. I've made that still be there with my daughters. They have all of this. It may not be a picture, but it's still their core values, and they both believe that. And that's important.
Right. So how kids get these needs met may change. But all the needs that children had before parents split up, they will have those same needs and even more. They're going to need even more of that love and reassurance. We're going to have to work a little harder about instilling those values and morals and principles because they may be different. But kids still have all those same needs. And so I want you to kind of put that in the back of your mind, that as we talk about the challenges of parenting apart, how do we stay mindful of the stuff that kids need?